Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's overnight adventure is a hammock overnighter in freezing cold temperatures. So right now it is currently dropping, forecasted to go to -5 to -7 degrees Celsius overnight and into the morning. It's at about 1 degree Celsius right now, so we're just about at the freezing point. I've got the hammock and the rainfly, the tarp, everything totally set up. I've got a integrated under quilt built into my hammock and a nice top quilt to match it inside. I've got my backpack pretty much empty. All I've got in here is food, water, camera equipment, my axe, my saw, and trusty Trangia stove. So we're gonna get a coffee going really quick using the Trangia, and then I do have to turn my attention to collecting firewood because there's a nice fire pit right in front of the hammock location, and I do want to cook my supper over an open campfire. So let's get started on a hot coffee. All right, guys, well, got coffee made up. It is cooling off rather quickly, and it's pretty much nightfall. Been doing this a lot lately, falling behind schedule. Wintertime. So I do need to get some firewood. Luckily, I'm not concerned because everywhere around the camera is dead wood. Dead standing and dead fallen. There is loads of firewood in this location. That's why I'm not too pressed for time. The fire pit is right here, right outside of the tarp. Beautiful location. So all I got to do is drag some of those fallen trees and some of the standing trees over in this general area. And I think propping it probably up on the stump off camera here, I can do all my cutting and wood prepping there underneath of the light the fire, and that will light up the whole area, and then I can turn my attention to cooking. Like I said, the hammock is totally set up. The underquilt is on the hammock, built into it, and the top quilt. So that, the whole sleep system is ready to go for this evening. It is rated for about minus 10 degrees Celsius, minus 15. I'll be totally warm in there, no problem. And I'm looking forward to it actually crawling in there and getting really nice and cozy. My cooking stuff, I'm just gonna leave all here for now. That cold air starting to whip through. That's actually very, very cold coming off that lake. The sun is setting across the lake as well, so it might look a little lighter out there. Last little bit of light, it's going to be total darkness in here very soon. So I'm going to finish this coffee very quickly, go and grab some firewood, get it over here, and start prepping. So cheers, guys. A little bit of late evening or early evening coffee, I should say. So cheers. Let's finish this up quick and get warm. Alright guys, with the campfire rocking pretty decent, it's going to build up a coal base, let it do its thing for a few moments. I did bring my folding grate, so you guys kind of know where this is headed, right? We're going to be doing steak again. I've been on a steak kick for probably, I don't know, the last 2-3 weeks. So I brought a container. The reason why I decided to bring an actual container this time instead of a bag is because I'm going to be putting Boomer's dog food in here. This area is notorious for coyotes. Absolutely horrible. They come in every single time I come camping here. I always see a coyote, or at least hear one right here in camp. So I'm going to put his dog food in here, and that's going to be the storage for overnight. So basically I'm going to get this grate prepped and ready on the fire. I could probably get it over there right now, scrape some coals out of the way, season up this steak, and then slap it on the fire. Boomer has his dog food. He's also going to have a little bit of this big T-bone, actually. It's a large T-bone. I'm going to give him probably, I don't know, maybe a third of it. I'm starving. Really need to get that in me. So I want to get this heated up, get those coals moved out of the way, and like I said, season this bad boy up, get it on the fire. Alright guys, I've got the steak on the fire. To go along with that, I do have half an onion that I'm just going to leave in these large petal kind of shapes. Toss them in this container with some of the leftover seasoning. And these are going to go on the grill to crisp up and become basically barbecued onion. I also brought with me half a tomato, so I'm going to slice these, get the tomatoes on the grill pretty much when the steak is done to kind of sear these up, get the onions cooked up, and yeah, it should be really good. I'm going to slice these rather thick. Now this onion's almost gone, or this tomato, onion, this tomato's almost kind of gone bad. It's a little mushy, it's not terrible, so hopefully it'll cook up nicely. I'm going to slice it rather thick, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I really wanted to do zucchini chunks, like really big fat pieces of zucchini, but I cannot find any in my local grocery stores anywhere right now. It's more of a summer thing in my area, so big old chunks of tomato on there. little bit of seasoning from the bottom of the container. I'll put some more seasoning on there too, actually, just to get these really nice and flavorful. Otherwise they'll be quite bland. So I could cook these up in the Trangia because I do have the frying pan with it, and I did think about doing that, but I want that fire flavor. I want that campfire taste and flavor. So kind of season up these onions, get that all tossed around, and yeah, these should be really good. So once that steak's cooked down enough that I can kind of rotate it, flip it, do all that stuff, get that on there. As far as the rest of the cooking area goes, it's pretty well organized. Hammock camping is beautiful because the hammock's very simple. It's very small. It packs down. It's all goose down. And then all the hard goods is basically what's left in the backpack. So it makes it really, really easy to pack up and go and unpack and you know, set up camp and stuff like that. So all this stuff will be tucked in the backpack underneath the hammock later on this evening. I can already tell you right now, coming away from the campfire, I'm about 15 feet away. Cold. It's getting very, very cold. I could feel the cold like hitting my face. I did bring a balaclava, and I'm going to be having my toque on my face later on tonight when I'm in the sleeping bag. Or top quilt, I should say. I do have a down jacket and a top quilt, so I don't actually have a full zip-up sleeping bag, which is not a problem because my hammock has an integrated underquilt, so I will essentially be wrapped up, no problem, totally nice and warm. But I did bring a balaclava to cover my face, basically like a ski mask. And yeah, we're kind of in ski mask season now, so hopefully we'll wake up and this entire area will just be glistening in frost. That'd be awesome. So I want to go back over to the fire, keep an eye on that steak, get nice and warm, and when it's time to get this stuff on there, toss it on. Hopefully enjoy a nice hot meal. All right, guys. Supper is all done. A little bit of smoke over here. The wind is blowing in that direction. I should mention that. I'm burning all softwood. I'm not worried about embers hitting the tarp or the hammock. The wind is primarily going that way. So it should be safe as far as sparks go. But supper is done, and I've got to say, that was incredible. I haven't had a T-bone in a long time. I've been eating different cuts of beef, but that T-bone cut hits every time. So good. So had those fire roasted tomatoes, which were absolutely incredible. Fire roasted tomatoes with steak seasoning. You get them nice and soft, a little bit crispy on the edge. Tastes just like pizza sauce, like marinara sauce. Incredible, especially with those onion slabs on the side, again seasoned. Really good. So I'm just getting some of my little bits and odds and ends here tied it up. I did bring another light with me. This is one of these tripod lights that I've been using lately, which is incredible. I'm going to stand that down in this area because I'm actually going to be folding the tarp in, kind of like a bomb shelter type deal here. I know it's not raining or snowing, but it's nice to just fold it in and not worry about any of the wind coming in and hitting at night or in the morning or whatever's going to go on. It's just nice. So I'm going to be dropping down this entire side of the tarp, much like the back side is, later on when I'm ready to climb in, which realistically isn't that far away, I don't think. So I just want to get everything situated in my bag. The Trangia I can leave out. Nothing that's going to happen to that. The biggest thing with any kind of food, which I've been getting a lot of questions on the channel lately, people saying, hey, you shouldn't carry food in your tent or in your hammock or whatnot, and I agree. But I have been doing this for years. In my area right now, there are bears, but they're not hibernating yet. In my area, we only have black bears, which are still a problem. But coyotes in this area are a major problem. So my food is in my hammock to protect my food. They've got to go through me to get my food. And I've been doing this for years and years and years. Yes, I've fended off many coyotes. Had to scare a few bears out of camp. Never have they gotten my food. So all the bits, Boomer's chewing on that T-bone, getting all the little bit of meat and fat off it, that's going to go in the fire. All the food scraps are going in the fire, leaving the Trangia out because it smells of food. Other than that, I'm going to be in the hammock. So let's think about it this way. If you're worried about food wrapped in wrappers and they can smell that, well, I'm sure they can smell me. And guess what? I'm on the menu. So, I mean, it's arguable, you know. If you're in your area, you're uncomfortable with it, do whatever works for you. I'm just going to do what works for me, and so far this has been working for me. So, backpack all bundled up. I'm going to put that directly underneath of me. My saw and my axe down there as well. On the side that I can reach out just in case anything happens. My axe is there. First defense, I guess, and my knife. I've gone ahead and thrown all of my firewood on the fire, which is now starting to take off in a big fireball to get nice and warm because it's actually really cold. I've got my down jacket inside the hammock, which I'm going to be using as part of my sleep system. I've got my downfill top quilt. I've got my 2 ski mask balaclava deals up here. A fresh change of socks. That's basically it. I'm going to be sleeping in what I'm wearing. The ground is damp. My knee is a little damp, so that's why I got to get over the fire. Get totally nice and dry, and then it's going to be in the hammock. So let's head over the fire and get warm. Alright guys, so jumping inside of the hammock, or at least the tarp, I just want to give you guys a good look at what we're kind of working with here. It's really difficult to film in here, but the hammock is, I don't know, about 2 feet off the ground. I've got more than enough room here. I will mention one thing. This tarp does have pop-outs, right here in my hand actually, to push the tarp out. I gotta put that peg back in the ground, but it does have these pop-outs. The reason why they're inside is because I'm actually using the tarp inside out on purpose. Having this pop-out tab inside means I can hang my light off the ridgeline on the side of the tarp, which keeps that out of my face. I've been doing this a lot lately with this tarp, and I find it works really, really well. But I do have to go outside because one of the pegs did just pop out of the ground. I loosened it so I can get this this camera view for you guys. But there are side pop-outs on here to get it off of your head. I'm not concerned about that tonight because I'm going to be inside the hammock. So this is what we're working with. There is loads of room in here, and underneath is totally fine. On rainy days or really, really snowy days, what I've been known to do is actually drop the hammock to the ground and just sit in here, cook and whatever, and then later on in the day or the evening when I'm ready to crawl in, I'll then hook the hammock back up to the tree and go to sleep. Works totally fine. So there's a lot of room in here. Boomer's hiding underneath the hammock. He's dying to get inside, so I think that's where we're headed. I got to get these boots off, get my socks changed. Yeah, get situated here and jump in the hammock. I won't be able to film. There's just not enough room in here with this particular camera setup, so that's why I want to show it to you guys right now, because what I'm going to do is basically get that door shut, warm up by the fire briefly again, and then run in here and call it a night as far as filming goes. So I'm going to watch a movie in my hammock, chill out, and I'll catch you guys first thing in the morning. Who knows, we might get dumped on with snow, we might not. We'll see what tomorrow morning looks like. So peace out guys, catch you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is a cold and a little bit of a dusty, snowy morning today. So, a couple things last night. One, it started getting very windy. It started spitting freezing rain and snow pellets. And then it went back to a very light, fluffy snow. During the windy and ice pellet time, I decided to lower the hammock and drop the tarp down to the ground to seal it all the way around. So as you guys can see, underneath of the tarp is very nice and dry. There's no snow there. So that's the bonus of making kind of like a super shelter style, like a 4-season shelter with a tarp for your hammock, is you can close it in and really keep the area nice and dry. The downside is I'm really low to the ground right now, so sitting's not the most comfortable. Sure, I could raise the hammock. There's no point. It's morning. I'm going to do coffee, get woken up, and then start the pack-up process, which is very, very quick with a hammock. So we did get some snow. It is a little bit cold. It's starting to warm up right now. My coffee has cooled off so much that it's not even steaming anymore, which is unfortunate. I could reheat it. I'm not going to bother. It's a very simple morning today. The sun is actually starting to poke through the trees. It's cold, and yeah, I'm loving it. Definitely love a nice little dusting of snow. And there was actually more snow than this last night, but the winds just kept pushing through here, blowing it all over the place. And that was kind of half the reason why I dropped the tarp, is it was starting to swirl snow up inside, and that wasn't very fun. So, up early this morning, going to enjoy a cup of coffee and take in this winter-esque scene here in the forest. So cheers, guys, and good morning. Alright guys, I've got everything packed up inside the backpack. Super fast, super simple, about 5 to 6 minutes to do the entire pack up. Very fast with a hammock. I love it. So coming out in snow and bad weather, hammocks are usually a pretty good bet. As long as you've got good insulation, you can stay warm. They hang very quickly and they pack up very quickly. Although if I were here multiple days, I gotta say I'd be happier in a hot tent, to be totally honest. But everything is inside of here. I had a great time. Got my little dusting of snow I was looking for. I had an awesome steak last night. That dinner was incredible. Absolutely awesome. And the warmth of the campfire was really good. Boomer is hiding over by a rock chewing on pine cones. He refuses to come over here as usual. Kind of gets sassy in his age. He doesn't like to do the endings very much anymore. It's either a squirrel or a stick that distracts him. So everything is loaded here. We are getting ready to go. So I'm going to get this backpack on my back and get out of here. And I'll catch you guys in the next adventure. So peace out, guys. See you in the next one.